The New England Patriots started the 2005 season by celebrating their third Super Bowl championship. But they also celebrated the 20th anniversary of their first Super Bowl appearance. Like the current team, the Patriots of the mid-'80s were a blue-collar group, known for putting fundamentals first, a concept instilled by both head coaches. One, a lifelong student of the game, the other, a Hall of Fame receiver. 20 years before Bill Belichick, there was Raymond Berry.
He brought a manner of coaching where it wasn't that vocal, in-your-face, what some people thought was a traditional way of coaching, and he didn't draw a lot of attention to himself. Many of the same qualities that our current coach has.
And while Belichick may have more rings, the distinguished hands of Raymond Berry hold just as many memories.
What's the ring that you're wearing?
This is the '85 AFC Championship game, New England. And this is '58, our first championship with Baltimore. Blood, sweat, and tears.
What happened to that thumb? Or that your pinky? What happened to your pinky?
Multiple dislocations when I was a rookie.
Actually, that should help you catch them.
I felt like it gave me more reach.
Raymond Berry was known for his reach long before his coaching days. As a Baltimore Colt from 1954 to 1967, he developed and perfected the art of pass catching. His signature moment came in the 1958 championship, where he caught 12 passes, the most in title game history. Many consider it the greatest game ever played, but Berry doesn't consider it his greatest effort.
I understand that you graded yourself after every game, and that your grade that you gave yourself after the '58 championship was, in fact, a poor grade.
Every game that year, I graded myself on 100% effort. Did I do it or not? If I did it, I'd give myself a plus. If I didn't, I'd do a minus. Because I was the only one that knew that. A coach looking at that can't tell if a guy's going 100% or 95%. And in this championship game, 1958 championship game, where we won the world title, and I probably had the best game I ever had as a receiver, I was 56% on effort. And I'll give you a great example of when I loafed in this game. John audibles to a trap down to meet you up the middle in overtime. Now understand, we've been playing over 4 quarters this time. My butt is worn out. So on a trap play up the middle, my job is to get the safety from a split end position. Well, not once in my whole career did Allen ever break the trap play, so I figured I could take a rest on that one. He breaks that thing up the middle. I'm loafing off the line of scrimmage, and it's too late. I can't get on Jimmy Patton. And I think Allen would have scored if I had been 100% effort on that play. Nobody knew that but me. But I knew it, and that was why I got 56%. I was loafing all during the game.
He knew when he was loafing, but he also knew his true value as a receiver.
When it came to my last big contract, why don't you just give me a blank contract, and I'll fill in what I think I want to get. So he put the contract over there, and I filled in $20,000. $20,000 was more than any receiver was getting, but I was the best in the league, so if I hadn't lived up to that contract, I'd have given him the money back.
If you hadn't lived up to your contract.
If I hadn't played worth $20,000, I wouldn't have taken $20,000.
Few men did more to earn their NFL paychecks. Berry retired in 1967 as the leading pass receiver in NFL history, then began passing his knowledge on to others. He spent 14 years as an assistant in both the NFL and college football, including 3 at the University of Arkansas, where his honesty didn't help the recruiting efforts of fellow assistant Joe Gibbs.
I'm recruiting receivers, and one of them had told me 10 times he was coming to Arkansas. I still remember Brian Willingham. And so I bring in Raymond for the kill. Here's the Hall of Fame coach, and I'm going to put the icing on this cake, you know. And the first thing Raymond did, he pulled out a little notebook, and he went like this. He says, now, I just want you to tell you, Brian, if you come to Arkansas, there's a good chance with the people we're recruiting, you're going to have to play DB. I went like this. I went, okay, here we go. We're going to dinner. He could not tell you anything but the absolute truth.
Berry learned that honesty as a child. thanks to a lesson taught by his father and football coach, Raymond Berry Sr.
When I was around 11 or 12, I got in the habit of lying, and he began to suspect it, so he waited till he caught me dead right one time about lying. And he took a razor strap out into a shed in the back, and he chased me all over that shed with that razor strap. And, you know, lying never really entered my field of options after that. He just, I don't think he really hit me too much. I was too quick, but he was so mad. And I told him, I said, you know, that's the greatest act of love anybody's ever done for me, because it stopped me from lying.
He brought that tough love to Foxborough as a Patriots receivers coach.
I read once that you would fine a player, and then you would pay the fine.
I just want to know that somebody's going to cost somebody.
When New England fired head coach Ron Meyer midway through the 1984 season, Berry was offered the job at the age of 51.
When you became a head coach, did you start to recognize any characteristics that you were exhibiting that you remember? My dad was the same way.
You have just struck on one of the most unusual, unexpected experiences that I had. My dad had the tremendous ability to make a team believe they could win. And when you played for him, you never ever thought you were going to lose any game. And why was that? It was because my dad believed we were going to. And I saw this team in New England. I knew this team could beat anybody. So, man, it was easy for me to start doing exactly what my dad did, just keep telling them. I don't really think I saw that many problems. I saw possibilities.
But he also saw something much more disturbing: illegal drug use by a few of his players. Stopping and treating the problem became a priority before the 1985 season.
You see, I sat down in the off-season and talked with every player individually about this matter. Every one of them. We all got on the same page about why it had to stop, and I told them why it had to stop. And one of the main reasons is because the fans of the NFL are the reason why we have a league. And they're buying a product, and the product has got to be untainted.
In Berry's first full season, the untainted underdog Patriots finished with an 11-5 record, qualifying for the playoffs as a wild card. Once there, they beat the Jets in New York and the Raiders in Oakland. Prior to 1985, New England had only one playoff victory in its 26-year history. Berry won his first two, then took the Patriots to the AFC Championship.
Here we are at the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida for the AFC Championship game. Whoever would have believed in the early part of the season that the Patriots would be here?
Raymond Berry believed. And despite having lost 18 straight at the Orange Bowl, the Patriots upset the heavily favored Dolphins, becoming the only team in NFL history to win 3 straight road games en route to the Super Bowl.
The Patriots are indeed the champions of the American Football Conference of the National Football League. What a day.
We got this far. This ain't stopping us now. We're going to win the next one. All right, the next one.
The next one was Super Bowl 20. Once again, they were underdogs, this time to the Chicago Bears. New England scored the first 3 points of the game. Chicago scored 46.
William Perry has scored on a 1-yard touchdown run in the Super Bowl.
It remains one of the most lopsided defeats in Super Bowl history.
The thing about that team was that, you know, it wouldn't have mattered who was coaching it. You could have had Vince Lombardi or Tom Landry, and they would have gotten blown out in that game. The marvel was that they had gotten to that point because they didn't deserve to be there. And it was an amazing coaching job by Raymond Berry to get them to that point.
Just hours after the game, Berry faced an equally difficult challenge. A story in the Boston Globe reported the details of Berry's fight against illegal drug use on his team.
It was very interesting, I guess is one way of saying it, that when the season ends and this all comes out, it looks like the Patriots were involved in drugs. Well, actually the team, in my opinion, was the cleanest team in the NFL, and I happen to know it was. And but it got painted with a brush that was not really accurate about what really happened.
With the issue now made public, Berry convinced his team to make one of the most historic anti-drug stands in sports history.
To the best of our knowledge, the Patriots have become the first pro sports franchise to submit to voluntary drug testing. This as a result of a team meeting in New Orleans on Monday.
If in the future a player like this goes back and we get information that he's on drugs, then he's going to be suspended up to 1 year. It's loss of salary, and I'm going to tell the press about it. The bottom line of all of it is, to save young people's lives.
I've had some very nice experiences here. Just like in the last 2 or 3 years, I've had players I coached 10, 12 years ago come up to me and say, "Coach, I want to thank you for what you did back then. You saved my life." And that was the object,
Belief in his players led to 5 straight winning seasons. But the man known for his long reach was fired after posting his first losing season in 1989. He was once the most prolific receiver in the game, and until Bill Belichick, the winningest coach in New England. He can no longer claim either distinction, but it's clear Raymond Berry is more than happy with his place in football history.
Did you achieve all your goals when you entered the National Football League? Why are you laughing?
The only goal I had coming to the NFL was to make it for 1 year. And that was it. It never occurred to me anything else had happened. I just wanted to make it 1 year. So yeah, I did. I achieved that.